All right. It's 2 in the morning, but we're going to go ahead and get this done. Okay. So, for the two viewers that check these out, I skipped last week, was going through some things, but we're back in action and we're going to stay in action. So, from this markup, looks like price definitely came back up, hit the zone, broke it, retested, and then continue on dropping. So that went ahead and did the thing. We'll go ahead and knock that out the way and update this. We have a structure break to the upside, but I would want to kind of wait and see if it's going to continue to break this high. If so, then we got positive momentum, so I would go ahead and then take like some retest, maybe here or here. So I'll put it in the middle and then aim to shoot for that. With that being said, though, just because we got this break to the upside doesn't necessarily mean that the trend could be changing. So for the short, I'd like to see this low getting broken and then take that retest down. For New Zealand dollars, I'm looking more just like a short, particularly from this area right here. So I'd just like to see this just drop. For pound dollar, so to review the markup, looks like those were two areas that I was looking at, and instead of price coming back up and hitting it, it just went ahead and broke some lows and left me behind. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So similar situation with Australian dollar. We got a high broken, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the trend has changed. We could be dropping from this area here. But if I were trying to hop in on this, I would want to see this low get broken before continuing to the downside. And if this high got broken here, I'd take that up. So for euro dollar, looks like with this markup, I wanted it to just drop, but it came up here and then drop and then continued to break lows. Now we got this going on over here. So let's go ahead. Same thing with Australian dollar and pound dollar, where we got some highs broken. Actually, no, we got upwards momentum with this. So with that being said, I'd look to continue this long that's already kind of happening, or if it goes a little deeper, maybe take something from in here and then continue that to the upside. So looking at this situation, I put out three options here, either these two zones or a price break structure to the upside, retest, and then continues. So it looks like it was that break and retest option that ended up happening in this situation. Do you just not want to delete? All right, cool. So we broke this with this, came back, retested, and then continued on up. In this situation, we got the opposite from like euro dollar, pound dollar, and Australian dollar, where we're breaking lows, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the trend has changed or that we got momentum to the downside. So with that being said, price, if there's an area that I'd be interested in, I don't like nothing until we get down here, actually. But by the time that hits, I think negative momentum would have set in. So kind of in limbo on this. So I'd leave it alone. Now, with this, I don't know what the heck was going on. I see we got some zones marked up and a gap marked up. You see here. Looks like price just broke structure to the upside, retested, and then continued. So break the structure, retest with this, continue to the upside. That was the trade. Same thing with US CAD, but a little bit cleaner. Looks like we're in this zone here, and that may be the zone that pushes us down and breaks this. But just because this was a huge push to the downside doesn't necessarily mean that it was changed. Negative momentum would be established if this low gets broken. But I'm actually more interested in longs, but in order for me to even want to do that, I need to see more evidence of positive momentum before taking that up. Similar situation in US Swiss, looking at the old markup. Just wanted price to come tap into here a little bit, and it looks like it did with these wicks right here, and that worked out really nicely. All right, so in this situation, I want this low to break, retest, continue to drop, or if it breaks this high, look for a little bit more positive momentum. For gold, see what happened here. So it looks like I either wanted it to drop from where it was at or come up in this area and then drop. So it looked like what it did was it dropped from where it was at. This was the area where the zone that was marked off. Price came in and then just fell, and then gave a little bit of positive momentum here into this retest, and then it fell again. So let's go ahead and update that. We got positive momentum in gold. This was the long right here. So there's no trade on this unless price were to come in here. I doubt that's going to happen though. But if it did, somewhere here in this area would be preferred. Don't think that's going to happen though. I'd be really surprised if that did. What I think is more likely to happen is that we break this high right here, retest it, and then continue going up. For silver, shout out to gold's little brother. We have positive momentum established. So I'm liking this guy right here, and I'm liking this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? Come back, tap in, that'd be real nice. Or, you know, come in here and take off. I'm cool with either way. For oil, negative momentum established. I like anything up here. All right, so for NASDAQ, ooh, it did both actually. So we got the break and the retest here, and then the continue up, and then it came in, snapped through these equal lows, hit this zone down here, and then shot up. That's crazy. So you would have been set with either one if you played it right. If you was taking the momentum based trade and you wanted to take out these highs right here, you got that with this. If you missed that, you got blessed. With price coming in here and hitting that, wicking in that had to have been the 930 candlestick. Oh, it wasn't. This was at 1 o'clock. Oh, some news. What was that? Interest rate decision. And they ain't even do nothing with it. They left it the same. Oh, you know Trump, man. Jerome Powell, you should be fired. You're useless. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So negative momentum's definitely established, looking like a downtrend. So I'm cool with this. Wham, wham. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to, come up in here and then drop. You know what I'm saying? All right. Looks like this didn't work so well. So I wanted to retest from either one of these areas. And what happened, this negative momentum got established and price just continued to break lows. So once you see that negative momentum, you want to take positions like these off. And I go over stuff like that in the mentorship. Link in the bio. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to trade real supply and demand, not that BS that you be seeing out there. Like, get you some shit that actually works. So with negative, pretty much a fucking downtrend established at this point. I'm looking to continue the shorts until you show me otherwise. So either from right there where it's at, somewhere up here. For S&P, similar situation. It didn't give me nothing to what I want. So in this situation, same thing, as use 30. Actually, the slight little variance. I would want it to tap more in here, somewhere in there. Or up here. However you want to do it. For XLY, so I added 5 cyclical ETFs and 5 defensive ETF. Because I'm about to start kicking up my options game a little bit more serious. So with XLY, since we're working with options, time to look at the daily chart. I like that we're in this right here. So my goal is going to be to take this out. For XLF, similar situation. The goal is going to be to take this out. XLI. I actually want XLI to fall a little bit more. Let me see you tap here. But if it did something where it came up, broke this high, and then retested it, I'd be cool with that. For SMH, shake my head. Yeah, I'd be cool with hopping in Aiming for these highs to get taken out for sure. FDN. First Dow Jones Internet Index Fund. FDN. Wake up, ish. Alright. So let's put this here. We're gonna put this here. And that's what I want with FDN. Now we're done with the cyclicals, onto the defensives. Shout out to XLV, looking at healthcare. So I'm long cyclicals, short defenses. So I only want to see negative structure with defenses, which is what healthcare is giving me. So I'm fucking with it. I'm gonna need you to come back up here though, because the trade had already happened. So the last trade that happened was this retest up here. The moment this happened, that was it. So I'm gonna need you to come back up here. Come back up here, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll be interested. Same thing with XLP. I need you to come back up here. With XLE. Yep, all the opportunities were missed recently. This one ain't doing nothing what I wanted to do at all. Nope. Leaving that alone too. So as far as NVIDIA goes, NVIDIA did what I wanted it to do. So for like the past, I don't know how many videos, y'all didn't see me talk about this retest and this bounce up and how it's been doing what I wanted to do, which is cool. So let's go ahead and mark that off for Goldman Sachs. Oops. Goldman Sachs went ahead and broke that high. Now we got the retest. So I'm not going to mess with this in real life, even though it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. But, you know, a close above that on like the 4 hour or 2 hour or something, I'm going to go ahead and hop in on that. Walmart's getting ready to hit the target support area. Test up my patience a little bit, you know what I'm saying, for like a week or so. But then it went ahead and started acting right, so shout out to Walmart. Even though Walmart is actually a defensive stock. So Eli Lilly, remember when I was annoyed when it came back up here? It went ahead and it gapped down for me. So I'm actually thinking about pulling this, you know what I'm saying? I wanted it to hit this area, but I'll see how it performs. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and pull this and just, you know what I'm saying, take the bread on that. So actually, let me not erase that. For Bitcoin, looks like we're getting a dive. Shout out to 114K Bitcoin. Go ahead and tap into this area real quick for your boy. Tap into it. I double dare you. I triple dog dare you. Go ahead and tap in that area real quick. Do it. For Ethereum, I'm not going to change this. Leave it where it's at. So that is it for this week. And yeah, I'll see y'all next breakdown.